What's good, YouTube? Team Simply Ma'a here. I am Ramen. This is Butters. Here bringing you today a discussion on the ban list.
So this is actually our third entry into the ban list foray. In this one we're actually we want to split up our ban list into multiple parts because we feel like if you really want to go into why your reasons behind every card, it could be a long ass video. So we're going to just talk about the big three decks. I mean, these are the biggest changes to the ban list, the ones that will kind of be meta defining. We're not going to. Later we're going to talk about cards that can come back, cards smaller changes, but these for right now we're just going to focus on the big three decks of the format, which are Dino, Rabbit, Wind Up, and Mermail. So we'll get started with Wind Up. I mean, I don't have many Wind Up cards, so here's my Wind Up Rabbit to symbolize Wind Up. This can spam a lot. Getting that shock lock. This deck has so much power. In a lot of ways, it's so hard to stop because if they go off first turn, you're kind of screwed. And so the biggest hit that everyone wants to talk about the Shark or Magician, because if they open up Shark or Magician, they're going to end up getting a Photon Pap, Shockmaster, and Zen Matey on the first turn. Now, last ban list, Konami really didn't do much to them. I mean, we thought that was a major hit, getting Zen Matey away. Everyone wanted Hunter banned, but it ended up not being that bad because they can still spam their XYZs pretty good. So the best way to do that is to hit either Magician or Shark. I think Magician is clearly the one that should be hit just because of its amount of self-interaction. Shark, if you think about it, Shark does the same as a Keyzon for 6 Sams or a Bora for a Blackwings. Like, Shark in itself isn't broken, but the fact that Magician can then self-interact with itself, that's what leads to the spam. So that's why I think Magician should be limited. And the other hit that I think, while not as important and not as crippling, would be Wind Up Factory to 1. I mean, most Wind Up decks actually only run 2 just because it's horrible late game, and because it can kind of clog the deck. So I think that limiting that would also be a good move, but I don't think it's a necessary move. A lot of people compare that to like a Black Whirlwind, and a lot of people don't get why that's at 1 while Factory's unlimited, especially because Wind Up Factory's kind of better in every single way. I mean, you can use it on both your opponent's turn and your own turn, and as well as it doesn't have to be a monster that has less than or equal to attack. So just the fact that Factory is at a higher number than Black Whirlwind when it's the better card and it's in the better deck makes no sense. So I could see Factory at 2 maybe, but again that wouldn't do much. But I definitely think I could see maybe Konami boosting up Black Whirlwind to 2 maybe to give Blackwings that little boost. But so I think the main hit for them is going to be so Magician to 1 and then Factory maybe to 1, but that's not the essential one. Some people want Rabbit hit, but Rabbit doesn't do anything. It's not broken. It's annoying, but it's not broken. And the fact that makes it broken is the fact that they can get that Shark Magician and start spamming. So then the next deck is the Mermail Atlanteans. This, you get so many different, so many different things that want to get hit. The main ones, I mean, they have Linde, Megalo, Abyss Sphere, Dragoons, Undine. All of these, people are, wanting to get hit. An interesting hit, and one that I think would be interesting, would actually have Undine get hit. The reason why I don't think that'll happen is just because Undine by itself it's not that broken of a card. I mean, when it came out, it was useless. It's kind of being abused by other cards. I mean, it is, it's a great engine, the fact that this can, toolbox any card in your deck. The fact that you don't need it in your hand, you can just get it from your deck and choose what you want. But I think the real target that should get hit is Dragoons. The fact that it searches out, everything. It'll search out Moulin Glacier, it'll search out Diva, it'll search out Megalo. That's why I think limiting Dragoons would be the best step to stop the consistency of the deck. I don't see them getting hit that hard because it is Konami style to not, they don't want to destroy the new decks. They'll let them, go on for a while, It's, kind of like with windups. Like, they hit Carrier, but they didn't destroy the deck. I mean, it'll take kind of that second ban list before they start, really hitting them because they want people to keep buying the cards, not after 1, Atlanteans and Mermails, they've only been out for a couple months, so they don't want, it to be cut short that quickly. So that's why I think Dragoons to 1 is an effective, yet kind of simple hit. And so the final deck, and what a lot of people think is the most powerful deck, is Dino Rabbit. At first, I thought Rescue Rabbit to 2 would be a very effective hit. And, it kind of was. I mean, it hit the consistency of the deck, and especially considering that all the other top decks were kind of brought down a notch was helpful. But it's gotten to the point where, especially now that they can use macro, they can just shut down so many meta decks that they've still become so dominant. And the worst thing I feel is the fact that Rabbit is now getting splashed into a lot of decks. I mean, you look at the Fire Fist that are coming out. They run Vorse Raider plus Rabbit. You look at the Evil Swarms. You know, they have, what is that, Heliotrope, the 1950 vanilla. They put Rabbit in it. All these decks, Rabbit can make decks. I mean, it's gotten to the point where when you're first making a deck, your first thought is, you know, can I throw in Rescue Rabbit? You know, I made our Ma'at deck. If you guys haven't, you should check that out. It's a great deck. It's so fun to play. The first thing I thought of was, how can I fit in Rescue Rabbit? Because it's one of those cards where this one card allows you to get an instant, you know, an instant rank 4, an instant rank 3, whatever. It allows you so much toolboxing from your, it just, especially in Dino Rabbits, because then you can get out, you know, Laggy or Dolka and then just sit on that in some back row. So I think we're at the point where we kind of need to take the deck down a notch. I mean, I feel like limiting Rabbit, I'm not sure whether or not that would completely kill the Dino Rabbit deck, but we need to do something about it, especially because Rabbit's seen itself getting into so many other decks that I think, you know, Rabbit to 1 needs to be the hit. Some people are saying Tour Guide, but Tour Guide doesn't really hit Dino Rabbits as much. You know, it hits all the decks, not just Dino Rabbits. So, plus Tour Guide's not really the problem, I would say. I mean, no one really, you know, if they get Levier and they can reuse a Rabbit, that's, you know, that's a very strong play. But, you know, most decks just using, you know, first turn Zen Mains isn't really that broken. So that's why I think, you know, if we have Rescue Rabbit, you know, let's limit it. And then that'll be a good way to kind of take the deck down a notch, a big one. I mean, that might be equal to the kind of the Insector hit that just happened. So, you know, let us know what you guys think. I mean, those are just the hits for the 3 top decks. I mean, later on in this series, we're going to get into more, kind of the more interesting cards almost. I mean, everyone talks about, you know, how should we hit Dino Rabbit and wind up in that. But we're going to start talking about some, like do you think... Yeah, like some interesting ones, you know, some debates more like, you know, Heavy Storm and Monster Reborn, as well as some, you know, kind of interesting ones like, you know, should Thousand Eyes Restrict come back and stuff like that. So, if you guys have any, you know, suggestions for other cards we should talk about for the ban list, you know, leave us a comment down below. So, thanks for watching, and keep looking out for more content. And also, you can check out our eBay. Look at we're hard at work, you know, with our inventory. So,
Asinboy93, Electrolyzer, and Ming Fen. That is Sayo Ninjas. Ming Fen.
Alright guys, thanks for watching.